Hey skiers, it's Bob with SkiEssentials.com. Welcome to our 2026 ski test. Got a DPS Koala 111 for you today. Really fun twin tip from DPS. You know, they're more known for making kind of these oddly shaped traditional directional skis. So the move to Koala really enhances that freestyle aspect of the brand. You know, they are based out in Utah and Salt Lake City area, so you see a ton of DPS skis at Snowbird and Alta, and it just makes a lot of sense out there, especially for more freestyle-oriented skiers. Think of a place like Alta. It doesn't have a terrain park. They rely on natural jumps and natural features in order to create that freestyle setting. So having a ski like this just makes a lot of sense at a place like that. A couple of new construction updates for this year. They're now using the hybrid carbon laminate for this ski, and that's the same construction that we see in the carbon whalers. So they've moved away from a fiberglass model and more into a carbon model. As a result, you get a little bit more zip and energy out of the Koala than we have in years past. And that was kind of always something that I didn't love about the Koala series, was that they were just a little bit dull. But now the 103 and 111 are a lot more peppy and electric, and just a big upgrade for just making kind of a small change to the ski. So it's a full poplar wood core, and then we get carbon stringers both on top and on bottom of the core, and that's just adding a lot of energy to the mix. It's not like that full carbon construction where it's super precise and really reactive. It feels more like a traditional build, but with a lot of good energy to it. You know, it ends up being pretty heavy. We have this system binding on the scale here, so it doesn't give an accurate measurement, but they're a little bit over 2,000 grams in the 184. So some nice weight. They do play around with the thickness of the core, so the 103 is a little bit thicker. This 111 is thinner, and that's just giving it more of a flexible nature, really enhancing and kind of accentuating that playful character to the ski. But a lot of kind of the bigger story comes from the shape and profile. You know, it's 111 underfoot. It does adhere to an 18-meter turn radius. So there is a bit longer of an effective edge than we see in the rocker style shaping of the carbon whalers. So it's a little bit more direct to the fall line. Allows for easier slash, smear, you know, surfy style turns, as well as allowing the ski to just have more of that twin tip shape. So not a ton of positive camber underfoot, but just kind of a wild amount of tip and tail rocker and associated splay to go along with it. Not too tapered like we see in the other skis. This is the big story here, is just that amount of rocker. So pretty straight through the middle of the ski. The widest part is lower, but it's not like it bows out like we see in the 15-meter arc skis that DPS makes. And then the tail, very freestyle, free ride oriented, long rocker. I mean, it's really only, you know, 20 centimeters or so behind the heel of the binding is where that rocker starts. So pretty short contact length in that underfoot zone, and that's just increasing the playfulness and creativity of this ski really to the nth degree. And again, not a lot of drama in the taper shape. You know, it is there and it is consistent, but it is not, it's not crazy or dramatic. Really more of that twin tip shape that makes this ski stand out from a pretty crowded field of 110-ish millimeter underfoot twin tips. This one separates itself with that use of carbon for sure in the build, just delivering a little bit more energy to the mix, which is, I think, a big upgrade over last year. We had these out on a pretty snowy day this year at Stowe. Normally you're not thinking of a DPS 111 as a Vermont-oriented ski, but we kind of nailed it this day. Worked great in the trees up top where the snow was deeper, and then kind of when we popped out and skied the lower half of the mountain, carved really well. You know, you're not out chopping 111s for carving performance, but it's a happy accident that this thing happened to just be very balanced and really intuitive on pack powder conditions. And the flex allows you to get, you know, even beyond or shorter than that 18-meter arc and really create some awesome angles. Super fun on pack powder conditions. You know, it's going to be a little bit more lumbering in tighter spaces due to the width and the weight, but overall pretty mobile. You're not having to fight against a long contact point or a long effective edge. It is, really surfy and really smeary and just incredibly playful. Sweet new top sheet as well. This and the 103 both look fantastic for this year. So that's it. That's the DPS Koala 111. Please check the ski out here at SkiEssentials.com, and we will see you out there on the hill. Bye.